Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Since most of my videos have been about kayaking, I get a lot of questions about the gear I use, the best locations to kayak in North Florida, and the best times of year to go kayaking. So today, I wanted to give you a behind the scenes look at Dadventures and answer some of those questions. Alright, so when I get out to the kayak launch, the biggest question I get has got to be about my kayak racks. Most people that have SUVs have a J rack, which essentially is this metal tubing that is in the shape of a J, and you have one on the back and one on the front, and you pop your kayak in. It stays up all the time. It stands about 12 to 15 inches above your roof, so it can make parking a bit difficult in a parking garage. It can hit trees. So instead, I got these ones from Swiss Cargo. Let me show you how they work. Alright, so like I said, these kayak racks are from Swiss Cargo, and I picked these up at Academy Sports. Interesting thing about these is when you first see them, you might think it is for snowboarding or a paddleboard, but actually you release these two clamps and you rotate this up and you put it back in place. Now this allows me to have a kayak on this side and that side, so when my girls or my wife go with me, I can take two kayaks, and essentially there's just a ratchet strap that goes around the top and through the bottom, and it has been the easiest thing since my old J racks that I used to have on my Trailblazer. So if you're looking to get a rack, I highly recommend this one. No, they're not sponsoring, but Swiss Cargo, if you guys want to send me something, cool. Okay, so I wanted to give you a close-up of this because the kayaking season is coming to an end and it's time to take these off my car. These are rather noisy when they're on, so I'll be happy to have a quieter drive to work from now on. So you just loosen this up and lay it down. And then there is a single bar that goes on the bottom of your crossbar, and there's a bolt in the front and the back. So you just twist it off and then you slide it out. It swings out because one end of this bar has a slot and one end has a hole. So as you can see here, a hole in the slot, so really you just get this one started and then you kind of swing it around to the other bolt and start to tighten it up. So when you're tightening this, you want to think about it like changing the tire on your car. You don't want to tighten one more than the other, you kind of want them to go around the same time. So get this one started with the hole, and then you swing this one around, start to bring it up, and then just tighten both till it rises up and attaches pretty well. When you get the other one tightened as well, you're going to want to go back to the first one and tighten it up and just make sure it's stable. You don't want this thing falling off. And as you can see, this is my biggest complaint and problem with this kayak rack. So this is made for kayaking, which happens in the water, you guessed it, which means this is going to be outdoors. There's going to be rain, a lot of kayaking's in salt water, and here in Florida we have this humid, salty air, which makes everything rust. I really wish Swiss Cargo would have thought about that and used stainless steel. I'm not sure what this is, but it has rusted quite a bit. The enamel's chipping off, there's bubbles under the enamel. And you know, part of it's just living in Florida. I've gone through several grills, lawn furniture, decorations at the house. So when you're making something for Florida, please use stainless steel. It stops rusting. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna get this off the rest of the way and go from there. Okay, so once you loosen both sides, you could just pop this right off. And so it's not swinging everywhere. Clamp it back down just to be safe. And then just like that, you are good to go until next year. Okay, so before I store this for the winter, I'm going to take a metal wire brush and try to get some of this rust off. And then I'm going to spray it in WD-40 just to kind of help seal it for the winter. And hopefully next year it is good to go in the spring. So when I started this channel earlier in 2020, like a lot of people out there who had really cool projects this year, it was due to COVID. I had a lot of trips planned for the year and I wasn't able to go on any of them. So I thought, well, what can I do? What are my hobbies? What do I like to do? And that's the idea of staycationing and really highlighting some of the cool things we have here in North Florida, in St. Augustine, Jacksonville, Palm Valley, all over the place. There's just so many amazing, wonderful attractions and places to get back in touch with nature. So that was the main point of the channel, and it has gotten me to get in the water more. It just helped me meet amazing people, and I've really just loved it. So I want to thank all of you for your support. for all the likes, for all the subscribes, and for all the shares. It has just been amazing this year, and I know 2021 is going to be even better. Alright, so this little guy here is how the entire channel started. This is the Akaso action camera, which you can get on Amazon for about 50 bucks. Comes with a lot of accessories, and it's a great starter camera if you're just getting into this. And also if, like me, you couldn't afford or didn't want to buy the GoPro. And luckily, this is December 29th, and my wife for Christmas, she's amazing, got me the GoPro Hero 9. So we're going to start seeing higher quality video, and also using that camera and this one, I'll be able to get multiple angles. Video-wise, I actually am recording on the GoPro right now, and then behind that, on a gimbal, I have my iPhone in vertical, which I'm using for Instagram, TikTok, and other vertical format social medias. Also new this year has been the Phantom 3 drone. So if you saw my lighthouse video, which I definitely recommend checking out, we used a lot of drone footage in that, and they were just fantastic. And it's interesting when you get into this, all the paperwork you have to sign, because some people have crashed before into things like lighthouses. So a lot of waivers and everything, but if you get permission and you can shoot, it's amazing, and it gives us lots of extra angles. Now, if you're going to notice, I still have to speed it up a little bit and get some new parts, but there's this black mark here, and that's because I just purchased these carbon fiber propellers, which were supposed to have a quieter flight, more stable flight. It was the opposite. So these things were dangerous. It was not flying stable, it wouldn't hover correctly or even stay in one place. And when I brought it down to land it and see what was going on, it had just flipped over blades down and was just making a big mess. So I also found out that the blades were hitting the body of the drone for some reason. So I'm returning these today. I don't recommend these. Just go with the plastic ones that come on it. They work a lot better. Okay, so it doesn't get much more behind the scenes than this. We're in my garage. And these are the kayaks that you see on all of our videos. Pelican, very popular, easy to get brand of kayak. And I actually got these also at Academy Sports on a Memorial Day sale a couple years back. Paddle-wise, I use this No Limits Propel, and it's been a good paddle so far. It's on the lower side of the price range. I definitely want to get one of the carbon fiber ones. Hopefully it works out better than the carbon fiber propellers for the drone. As far as mounting, I actually built these mounts out of 2x4s. So they're not pretty, but they work really well. It's just 2x4s, some wood glue, and just makes a J and screws right to the wall. Okay, so another piece of gear you have not seen on camera yet would be the Bodhi Floaty, the Bodhi Floaty, not sure how you pronounce it. Basically, it is a flotation device with 3 suction cups that allows you to stick the camera onto the kayak. So you can stick it on top, on the side, wherever you want. And then I had this arm that I screwed in and put the cage for the Akaso camera on top. I'm probably still going to use this for the Akaso just to have some extra angles and put the GoPro on a taller mount. The only drawback of this item is, again, it was designed for water, yet they included something that rusts. The nut that you screw the attachment into started to rust right away. And also the plastic around there started to deteriorate. So it's not really sturdy construction. I was kind of surprised by that. It had pretty good reviews, but it was a newer product, so hopefully they improve this in the future. And finally, something else you probably have not seen on camera is the shotgun mic. So this is the microphone itself. Essentially it picks up any sound in front of it. And this is the windscreen, which, to be honest, doesn't really do much. So if it's not windy, it's great. A little bit of wind, there's a problem. So overall, it's a good microphone. No complaints about it. And it does attach to tripods, to the side of your camera, wherever you want to put it. So I hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at Dadventures and everything that we put into our videos. If you like this video and this kind of content, go ahead and hit subscribe, and at least hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. And until next time, keep having adventures.